about it. Floyd. Those birds are not for you, Floyd. It's our 3rd wedding anniversary today. Did we go out for a nice dinner?
Nope.
No, we didn't do that. Did we maybe do something fun? Maybe dance or something like normal people?
Nope.
No, we didn't do that. What did we do? We picked up our chickens.
Got baby chickens.
Set up our baby chickens.
Okay.
Okay guys, so it's the first night that we've had the chickens. And so last night we lost 2 and 2 are not looking really great. Now these tend to have really high mortality rate, like 30% in some cases. And I'm hoping that I can stay way under that. That guy's fading fast. I'm gonna try to give him a little drink of this water with some minerals in it and see if I can sort of revive him, get him warm. But he's not looking too good. So I have these Save a Chick little packets here. One's a probiotic and one's an electrolyte. So, I mean, it works pretty much like a human. It's just trying to make a healthier chicken, and it's not like gonna save him or anything, but you know, when you are sick or whatever and you get an electrolyte, it's like the same thing. It just gives you a bunch of different nutrients that your body helps you to try to recover from that sickness or that weakness, whatever it might be. And hopefully this is, I've got several packs of these. You just mix them with a gallon of water. You can use them both at the same time so they can get that probiotic and the electrolyte. It's just a healthier chicken. And hopefully you can get these through these first few weeks of these birds when they don't have any feathers and they're real susceptible to death. I think once I can get them out past this next couple of weeks, if I can get them past that, I think they'll be a lot healthier bird. So I've just got a gallon of that mixed up in a little milk jug here with some lukewarm water. And I'm just going to put that in their water and let them get around and take that. And I'm just going to do that probably like once a day. I've been filling it up twice a day. So I'll do one like this, then one clear water, and then back to this, and then just do that until I run out. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but I'm trying. About halfway through the 2 weeks, so we got a whole bunch of growth. We've had several die, but the dying has slowed. We've had one die in the past 4 or 5 days, so that's not as bad as it was where we were having 1 or 2 die every single day. They've gotten a lot bigger. They're about to outgrow this, so we're going to be splitting them into 2 different things. So we'll be putting half in one of these, and then the other half will go into these. The ducks, that's where the ducks were. The ducks are going to move outside probably tomorrow. And so they'll have a lot more area, and they won't have to fight over food right now, because whenever we feed them, they start piling up on top of each other and kind of like fighting over the food. So I don't want them to start like crushing each other. That's what I'm afraid of, is that they're going to like just get so aggressive with the food that they're going to hurt each other or something, and they die so easily that I just want to prevent that. So as you can see, they're super crowded right now, and so that'll help a lot with that. We'll probably do that for about a week, and then we'll try to move them out to our big pen out in the barn. Alright, so I got the heat lamp set up. I got a nice, well, I wouldn't say nice, it was built with scrap stuff, but I've got a hopefully coon-proof and predator-proof lid over the top of these guys. So now we just add them to our new home and get them fed and watered. So I got the guineas in there now, so they'll just share share a home with the guineas. That's not, I don't think, a big deal. They're about the same size. And those guineas they're pretty rugged. I've already actually had them fly out of there and get out for a couple days, and they made it through the night. Some pretty cold temperatures, so they're really liking the heat lamp though. But they'll be in there with the meat chickens. So they kind of actually, they will peck other birds, I guess, and kind of eat like the bugs and pests on the other birds. So I'm hoping that they kind of keep them clean a little bit. So like Cornish crosses are kind of known as slobs, so maybe they'll kind of keep the area a little clean. They're pretty much staying over here, but I got all this over here for them too, so we've got quite a bit of room. Everybody's got water, plenty of food in there, and seem like they're pretty happy. So I'm gonna check on them later on tonight when it gets a little cooler and see if they're bunched around that heat lamp. If they're bunched around the heat lamp, I'll probably go ahead and add another one. But if they're not, if they don't look like they're too cold, then I'll just leave it be and let them kind of spread out. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Easy. Oh, man. How'd you do that? I know birds are typically dumb, but these are dumb. This is like the first time they've seen actual grass. I don't know if they know what to think. Oh, they haven't developed all their feathers. They've been rubbing against each other so that it kind of wears off. I see some of them grazing. Most of them just want the food though. Hopefully they kind of see the grass as food and graze it. Yeah, some of them are moving around eating grass. That's good. Hopefully they get a little bit of grass in them.
Hey, all these are boys.
No, the ones with combs are boys.
Don't all of them have combs?
Little combs. You see that one right there? And that one?
Oh, yeah.
Those two, with the big floppy combs, those are boys. So I severely underestimated exactly how much they would need to be moved. I was thinking they would be fine for like 2 or 3 days, but they poop so much and make such a mess that, so I'll show you guys. So this is just moved yesterday morning, and there's poop everywhere, and they've pretty much kind of picked at all the dandelions and weeds and stuff, and all that's left is some of the grass. So I severely underestimated exactly how much I'd have to move it. So I'm gonna have to move it probably about every day. That's the benefit of having, you know, something that slides. This chicken tractor, I mean, if this was a coop, I would be constantly, either I'd have to do deep layer bedding, clean it out all the time. Whereas here, I pick it up with the tractor and I just move it 10 feet and they're good to go. So I really like it. So I'm gonna do a little overview just in case like somebody wants to see the entire thing. So as you can see, I added the skids underneath, and then I have the wheels so that I can turn that. I can pop those wheels up and I can roll it and I can turn it, or I can just attach the skids to the tractor and drag it like that. It's way heavier than I really wanted, but it's pretty sturdy, and that's more important. And I'm able to move it, and so that was the important part. So the chickens really like it. They're able to exercise more, they're able to get a little bit of grass and just kind of not so crowded. We have, I think, 36 or 37 meat birds now. We've lost a lot. They're doing pretty well now. They actually, I'm gonna have to water them. Need to get them watered. They're going through some water and some food. Anyway, we're quite nearly at week 8. The week 8 end of this Friday. I missed, I think, a few weeks. Honestly, there just wasn't much to report. We've had them in the chicken tractor, so about once every few days we've been moving them. So they've been on new pasture, and this chicken tractor is definitely big enough, you know, for there's only 38 left, so it's definitely big enough for all of them. They have plenty of room in there, and they don't really eat all the grass even after a couple days. And we go ahead and move them so they got, you know, fresh bedding, and they're not laying in their own, you know, fecal matter and stuff. So they're nice and clean. So they've been going through feed, tremendous amounts of feed. I mean, I'm talking like a bag every couple days. We try not to leave food in there all the time, so we'll have it in there for the most part during the day. We'll have food available, and then when they run out, we'll make them go through the night without it, and that's just to kind of slow their growth just a little bit, so they're a little bit more healthy and they're able to walk. And since we lost a few the first couple weeks, we've only lost one chicken, and that was about week 4. Since then, since we got them past that like chick stage and they've had feathers, we've had a lot better luck and success keeping them alive. So I'm gonna get them fed and watered, and this Friday we're gonna be checking them, but I think they're gonna be about big enough. We're gonna go ahead and butcher. This chicken tractor's been working extremely well. I think even after we go ahead and butcher these, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put either my ducks or a few laying hens in here, and maybe try to build some like nesting boxes and a roost in there. It just works really well. They've got fresh grass all the time. They got plenty of bugs and these little seed heads. We don't mow over here very much anymore, so we have all these little seed heads, you know, that they can eat on. And these birds, you know, still eat food, but they are eating. And you know, if you watch them in there, they'll actually behave like a normal bird would, and they'll scratch the ground and they'll look for stuff and they'll eat some grass here and there. I know they're not getting as much as like a typical hen would, because they want to eat so much and they're so hungry all the time. They're at least getting a little bit of that grass in there, and they're at least, you know, in a clean environment with fresh air. You go back in there. The other thing is they go through water, and I will say, I think the hardest thing about raising these meat birds is, you know, trying to keep them with plenty of water. They can suck down the water. You know, we got a couple 90-degree days in a row, and they were just panting and panting and panting. And I put this shade cloth on for when the times, you know, of day, like right now, it's super shaded in the yard. You know, the sun's not quite all the way up, but when it was right in the center of the sky, you know, we have shade on both sides, but when it's right in the center of the sky, it was basically beating down right on top of them. So we got this is just actually the trampoline that we made this chicken tractor out of. This is the part that, it has a couple holes in it or whatever, but this is the part, you know, that you jump on, the stretchy fabric or whatever. And we were just using it as like a shade cloth to keep them completely shaded. You know, we kept it up at the bottom so they still have ventilation and air coming through. And it is, you know, there is some air that can pass through here too, but basically it just keeps them shaded for the most part. And they still, you know, they get hot, they're fat, they're overweight chickens, and so they're just miserable and fat and hot. Whenever, you know, it gets hot, they gotta have a ton of water. So we have 3 watering things in there, and we'll fill those up twice a day, and they'll basically be almost out that second time we're filling them. When we get up that next morning and refill them, they're basically out. So they're drinking it all. As you can see, it's in the morning and they were completely dry, so they're real thirsty. They're completely out of food too, and we'll get them fed. And so when we get to the point where we're going to butcher them, which I think is going to be probably this Friday, is when I'm going to have time. We're going to withdraw all food for about 24 hours. So we won't be feeding them that last day. We'll only be giving them nice clean water, keeping them hydrated, and then we'll move into the butchering process, and we're going to do it all in one swipe. So these roosters, the roosters are a bit bigger. So by Friday, I think they're going to be just a shy over what I really want as far as size. And I think the hens are going to be just a little under for what I want as far as size. But instead of doing it on 2 different days, you know, with my time constraints, with a full-time job, a part-time job, and, you know, taking care of other livestock and 6 kids, it's going to be the best method to just set up everything one day, wipe it out, get them in the freezer, and be done with it. We're ready to get rid of them. They're obnoxious. They peck you when they're hungry. They're just not intelligent birds. I mean, I know birds are not actually known for their intelligence, but they're just really, really dumb. I'm just tired of messing with them, so we're going to be really relieved when that's one more chore off of our plate.
1, 2, 3, 4.